Thank you, Kelly. Thank you. Thank you, Kelly. Now, the ushers had a handout for you. Does everybody have an envelope? Is there anybody that did not get an envelope when you came? Good. You've guys open that up real quickly. There are 3 items in there I want to review real quickly with you before I get in some information for you about 2 very important, urgent issues. It's good to be back at this gathering of ladies from around the state. In the past, it's been wonderful to work with you on many issues at the Indiana General Assembly that affect the families and churches of Indiana. You've been a huge help to us and a huge help to the churches and the families, and we need you again now. In the envelope, there are 3 items. First of all, there is a legal card there. In my law office, we have Christian attorneys that have helped people from around the state for many, many years. Keep that legal card with you. And then, Jim Waters, would you please stand? Please welcome Jim Waters, one of my law partners back there. There's another item in there. It's called a glove compartment accident guide. Please put that in your vehicle. Has tips on what to fill out if you're ever involved in an automobile accident. Call us. There's no charge for that first phone call on any legal issue. Again, keep that in your vehicle with you. The third item is a proud Hoosier partnership. I wrote a book on how to understand and impact Indiana government. And we've given individuals for the last 7 years an opportunity to partner with Advance America to join the Proud Hoosier Partnership. You'll see on that handout that it's just $8 a month, $96 for the year, and you get the book that I wrote plus a patriotic book or patriotic DVD. You get information throughout the year on things that are going on in your government. My book that I wrote has information about how a bill becomes a law, tips on how to become an effective, informed participant in your government, has all the emails for the House and the Senate, information on what a church can and cannot do, information that you need to know to help impact your government for your family and for your church and for your freedom. So if you want to join, just fill out that information sheet, mail that back to us, just $8 a month, $96 for a year to join the Proud Hoosier Partnership. For over 30 years, it's been my privilege and opportunity to serve the families, you and your family, the churches of the state of Indiana at the State House. Advance America has grown to become Indiana's largest pro-family and pro-church organization in the state of Indiana. I've announced before this ladies' meeting many important issues in the past, and you've rallied with us, you've prayed, you've contacted your senators and your representatives, and you've made a difference. Today, I have 2 very important issues to discuss with you. 2 very urgent issues. Issues where we must pass legislation in the upcoming session of the Indiana General Assembly in order to protect the women and the girls of Indiana. Problem number 1 that needs to be addressed in the Indiana General Assembly. We must keep men out of women's restrooms, women's dressing rooms, women's locker rooms. We have a gap in Indiana law that's going to shock you. Men, including sexual predators, rapists, and child molesters, can now legally enter a women's restroom, a women's dressing room, and a women's locker room at a fitness facility. We must pass legislation to stop this from happening in the future. Women and girls are now at risk in the state of Indiana from being harmed. We must protect the women and girls. It's the right thing to do. That's issue number 1. Problem number 2 is just as serious. It concerns the public schools in your area. Around the country, boys are going to public school, and they're saying that now they are a girl. They are still biologically a boy. And around the country, these boys are now being given permission in the public schools to use the girls' restroom and the girls' locker room. This is what's coming to Indiana, and this must not happen in Indiana. We must protect the girls in the public schools. Now, in order to do this, we need your help. You are in a unique position to help pass legislation in the 2016 General Assembly because you're ladies, you're moms, you're grandmas. Here are 4 things that everybody sitting here can do to help protect the women and the girls of Indiana. Number 1, please pray. Please pray that we can pass legislation in these 2 areas to protect the women and the girls of Indiana. Step number 2, your legislators need to hear from you. They need to hear that you want legislation passed to protect women and girls. There will be information on our website. We'll be sending out emails and mailings. If you're not already getting our emails, then just go to advanceamerica.com, sign up to get emails. That information is also on the handout materials I passed out to you earlier. We don't charge for getting our mailings or our emails, and we don't sell or give our mailing list to anybody, but you need to be kept up to date on what's happening on these 2 very important issues as we head toward the start of the Indiana General Assembly and the need to pass this legislation. Then you're going to be getting updates. You also need to go to our website often to get the latest updates. Step number 1, pray. Step number 2, make sure you're getting our emails so that you can contact your legislators. Step number 3, when you get our emails, then share those with everybody that you know. People in your church, people in your neighborhood, your friends and your relatives. They need to know as well that these 2 issues need to be addressed by the Indiana General Assembly in order to protect the women and the girls of Indiana. And then step number 4, when you do get this information, contact your representative and senator. It's real easy. We'll give you all the information about the bills. You can send an email, you can make a phone call, or 4 or 5 ladies can go out and meet face to face with your representative and your senator. Think about this. You go out and you meet with them at McDonald's, or pick a place where you want to meet with them, or maybe at the church, maybe at your home. 4 or 5 ladies sitting down with a representative and a senator, and they say this: there are 2 bills coming up in the Indiana General Assembly. We want to know where you stand. Will you vote for a bill to keep men out of women's restrooms, women's dressing rooms, and women's locker rooms? If the legislator takes longer than 10 seconds to say yes, you've got a problem. The second bill, you ask them, you say, we need to keep boys out of girls' restrooms and girls' locker rooms at the public schools. Will you vote yes to keep boys out of girls' restrooms and girls' locker rooms at the public schools? If that legislator takes longer than 10 seconds to say yes, you've got a problem. You say, can we really make a difference? Oh my, yes. I've done this now over 30 years. If I had 5 ladies in every one of the state representative districts and every one of the state senate districts that would take this message to the senators and representatives, it would make a huge, huge impact. Now let me review this with you real quickly. There's going to be 2 bills introduced in the Indiana General Assembly. Bill number 1 will make it illegal for a man, including a sexual predator, a rapist, or a child molester, make it illegal for a man to be able to go into a women's restroom, a women's dressing room, say at a department store, say at a restaurant, or a women's locker room at a fitness facility, to go into that women's area that is restricted for women and girls. Bill number 1 will make it illegal for a man to be able to do that. Easy to understand, the right thing to do. Bill number 2, easy to understand, the right thing to do. Bill number 2 will say this, that no boy, an individual that is biologically a boy, can go into a girl's restroom or a girl's locker room in the public schools. We have a chance to protect the women and the girls of Indiana. Either a legislator will support protecting women and girls, or they will not. The legislators need to know on these 2 issues that they are non-negotiable. We must let the legislators know that there is no excuse for not passing these 2 bills to protect women and girls. Now I have a question for you. will you help me pass these two bills to protect the women and the girls of Indiana? Then here's what you need to do. Be praying, be watching for my emails, and when the emails come to you and it tells you about the bills and more information, then contact your senator and your representative. Share that information with other individuals who will contact their senator and their representative as well. Working together, we can and we must protect the women and the girls of Indiana. Working together, we can protect the women and the girls of Indiana. It was Edmund Burke that said, all that is necessary for evil to triumph is for good men and women to do nothing. The time has come here in the state of Indiana for people who believe in decency, common sense, biblical values, protecting women and girls, to stand up without apology and let their elected officials know that on protecting women and girls, there is no compromise, there is no negotiation. We want them to vote and do the right thing and protect the women and the girls of Indiana. God bless you. It's good to be with you.